In the past on the show, we've seen a little bit about fitness and technology coming together. We decided to expand on that with a certain tool which for some people maybe not used every day, but it's something to do very much with fitness. And I called in somebody to help me as well. What am I talking about? Let's find out. What you're looking at there is the PowerPlate My 7, and we've been doing a few different workout devices recently. We're all about trying to keep you fit, trying to keep you slim and ready to get out there. But I can't do this alone. No, sorry, I have someone to join me who's tried it out properly, more so than I have. Miss Awani, host, actress to be.
Yeah.
I know you just shot a film, and of course a model and, well, really jack of all trades. But let's just talk about this. You tried it out. As a background, Faye, how often do you work out a week?
I work out between 4 to 5 times a week.
So obviously she's a real fitness fanatic. She's taking a course to be a certified fitness instructor, but this is a more unorthodox thing, which I'm sure you're not experienced with.
No.
How did you find it?
Actually, I really like it a lot. It really works on your core. I feel like it really activates all your fiber muscles.
Yeah, the fast switch muscles and all of that. That's what creates speed. Okay.
So, I mean, it's great. We did some warm-ups, we did some core workouts, we also did massage. That's my favorite part about this equipment, is that it massages your body.
Right at the end, I have to add, after you've been through all the perils of working out. But it's quite useful. I mean, they actually guided you step by step. So you focus on strength, balance, core, stretch first, strength, and then massage. So did you feel that it really targeted each thing that it says it's supposed to target?
It does, definitely, especially with the stretching. It really helps to activate the muscles, like I said, with the stretching. And then balance, there are a few workouts that is programmed onto this equipment that teaches you different, movements. So that's cool.
Are there any qualms you would have about it? Because, I mean, we both tried it out. She did it much longer than I did, but I kept getting my body shape wrong, and it can be rather dangerous, although I know we're not using weights in this situation. Did you find yourself struggling to try to maintain the correct positioning?
A little bit, yeah, like especially doing a few of the balance workouts, I realized that I had to hold on to the handles because I couldn't really balance, especially with the vibration going on. So yeah, it's quite challenging. It may look easy, it may look like I'm not doing anything, but it is actually working out on my body a lot.
All right, so the model we were actually looking at here, there's a reason there's a big screen here. It's simply because it's guiding you as to what you need to do when you're working out. And how did you find that? I mean, was it clear, concise, the instructions here? It looks pretty basic.
Well, I think this PowerPlate has been around for a few years, actually. I think the first one that they had didn't have this, what do you call this?
Screen thing.
program.
This is more of a semi-pro model, whereas I think the ones we've seen before were more professional
More
models.
digital. So this one is, it really helps you, guides you through. So you don't really need a personal trainer with you. This is your personal trainer, which is what I like about it. Because when you work out at home, sometimes it's easier to just work out on your own.
Yeah, and don't forget, you really do have to make sure that you're maintaining the correct posture and so forth, as Faye will tell you. It's very important. In a nutshell, though, I haven't really explained how it works. So basically, you stand on this, or you put a part of your body on it, and it very, very fast vibrations will activate the muscles, correct?
It helps to improve blood circulation and also helps to stay, it's good for stability and strengthening, I feel.
All right. Well, overall, I think it's got something for everybody. You look at the fact that you can choose what kind of workout you would like, be it something to maintain your shape, to get into shape, or maybe something more skewered to a professional sport like football or basketball. So plenty on offer for everybody. And what's your final verdict? I mean, out of 5, what would you give it?
I would give it a 3.5. I was actually thinking about getting a massage chair, but I think this would make a better investment to have at home than a massage chair.
All right, there you heard it from Faye Huklani, who's much fitter than I am, as my stomach will attest to. But anyhow, thank you very much for coming, Faye. It's been a real pleasure.
It is my pleasure.
There you have it. Always taking care of your fitness. sure you love music as much as I do. And nowadays, in the music industry, some of the biggest names aren't singers or rappers or dancers, they're simply DJs. Someone like David Guetta would just jump to my mind like that. Now, no matter what sort of genre of music you like to play, be it house, trance, R&B, hip-hop, whatever, you're probably going to use the same tool. So that's what we're talking about today as we go and start spinning the decks with some DJs.
Hi, my name is C. I run Detour Asia. Run a couple of events here in Malaysia, bring in international artists, and yeah, been around in the music business for, I don't know, 15 years or something, and want to show you a little bit of what I do. I think when it comes to mixing, for me, the most important part is the selection, yeah, and the interaction with the crowd. So your selection needs to be right, but then you need to change what you had in mind because maybe it doesn't work with the crowd. So I think that's the key point.
If you're on both, gonna make you go take it slow, pace it up with the beat. Alright, who gonna turn up the heat? Take it low, gentlemen, gigolos in a row. Wanna bow, make them worship your feet. Ladies, correct me, but if they get correctly, to put it gently, they just might get amazed.
So what I like to work with is this software called Ableton Live. It's from Berlin. I've been working with these guys for, I don't know, 6-7 years. And I also use this launch pad here, which is from Akai. It's called the APC 40, and it allows me to actually trigger and control things which I have here in my software. So instead of sitting there with my mouse and with my trackpad, I can actually use everything here, and it's the same thing, which is actually the information here on the screen. So gives me hands-free and allows me to have a better interaction also with the crowd, because they actually can sort of see what I do when I turn knobs and things.
So here's a barrier. Bring me chariots. All the things that you can show me. Will I marry ya? I think I'm way too cool. So here's a barrier. If you're on both knees.
Okay, I think the most important thing is that you don't try to copy, that you try to, of course you need to be inspired, so that means you need to have your heroes and all that, but you should find your own style, because that's the only way to really grab an audience, and that's the only way to stay real. Yeah, that's my key message.
You know, I love to just browse apps and gadgets and stuff. Well, I recently stumbled across something called SecureMe. Now what this is, it's a safety tool, let's put it that way, and it takes preventive action as one way of stopping you getting into any sort of trouble. What am I talking about exactly? Let's find out in first look.
So basically, in a nutshell, SecureMe put a virtual bodyguard into your smartphone, consistently watch over you and ensure safety. The unique selling point of SecureMe is whenever you're in danger, even you're unable to trigger for help, SecureMe will know that and trigger for help on your behalf, even your phone was forced to switch off. And the way it works is whenever user undertaking any activity with potential risk, for example, you are taking a taxi home, or if you are female property agents, you're bringing a customer to visit a new properties, you feel insecure about it, you just tell your bodyguard, tell your mobile phone that where you're going, the details of the event, for example, the customer's details and everything, and how long you want your bodyguard, in this case SecureMe, to watch over you. And once the event is registered to our server will track your location every minute until you confirm your safety. If for whatever reason you fail to confirm your safety, SecureMe will auto-broadcast to your friends and family via SMS and email. Your Facebook and Twitter status will be updated as well. And this is basically how SecureMe works. A user, when facing emergency, they require the step to trigger emergency is just too much, where user typically need to take out the phone, unlock the screens, search where's the app, and then launch the app and finally press the panic buttons. And a lot of times, user can't do that because they are in danger, they are panicked, or worst case, they've been forced to switch off the phone. So one of the way we actually solve the problem is we allow user to actually trigger emergency from the smartwatch itself. A user can actually register event, confirm the safety, and trigger emergency directly from the watch without even taking out the phone. So this is one of the cool features we have in SecureMe. Whenever users still unconscious and able to trigger emergency, we remove the step of unlocking a screen, launch the app. You just simply take out your phones and shake it. And what's happening is the phone will actually trigger a loud alarm sound in hoping it will scare off the intruder away. And the phone will auto shoot a video for 5 to 7 seconds. We're hoping that you're able to capture the intruder faces. This video is transmitted to our servers, and what happened is your loved one will be able to capture, to track what is going on. And we're hoping that you are able to actually find where you are.
What's up, everybody? This is Joni. My name is the Rat Pack. Joni representing Mad Kid Studio. I'm representing the Sideshow. We're happy to be here today. We're going to talk to you a little bit about DJing and its equipment. So first off, basically when you're DJing, you're playing 2 tracks at the same time. So this is the first track and this is the second track. People use a combination of maybe 2 turntables or 2 CDJs. Sometimes they use 2 turntables and 2 CDJs, which is why you have so many channels in the mixer. So basically in the mixer you have your bass sound, your bass levels, your mid levels, and your treble levels. This is your volume control, gain. You have a special effects section here. This is what Joni was playing with just now. It makes you do, you can hear the difference.
There it is, man.
That was the echo function that we just displayed just now. So basically, in the olden days, the people used to use more turntables. They didn't used to use so many effects. DJing first really came about with like the hip hop movement back in like the 70s and 80s. So it's been around for a while now. The scene these days is a lot different. We've moved on to more things like this. This is the CDJ 1000, like Joni explained just now. Basically, it lets you control a CD like you can control a vinyl. So you can scratch and everything and do stuff like that.
Basically, it's the same thing.
So this gives you that function, yeah.
You have this one too. So this one goes like. Okay, for CDJ 1000 MK3, what you can do with this thing over here, this is a hot cue, where you have three hot cue. So basically you can record whatever sound you want from inside. Okay? So let's say you want this one. Okay, so you record 3 hot cue it is. This one goes like. Right.
So basically, we showed you all the functions of the traditional DJ setup, you know, with the turntable, CDJ, mixer. Nowadays, because of technology, you all know, you can basically do the same thing with the songs from your laptop without having to use vinyls, without having to use CDs, without having to burn anything. So we have a few different types of things that helps you be able to do that. The first thing is what I use is the Serato. So this does the same thing as this, but it's in a smaller box, and you just plug it in and it works off the CDJs and vinyls. But what I'm going to demonstrate today is the Tractor Controller S4. Basically, yeah, it just makes everything compacted into just this one box. So I'll have this. You need to run it with a laptop, and you need to have the program also. So this is the program. So as you can see, I got one track set up on the left. So just like anything, I can just press play. So you know, I can increase this and decrease the speed. So, and I can have effects. The good thing about Tractor is it gives you an extra 10 or so effects that you probably wouldn't normally use otherwise. So, you can see, but that's us doing tandem. So we've got this plugged into the mixer. So Joni was doing effects there and I was doing effects here. So this is how you can get creative. And then this also has a filter function. Normally with this filter function, so it's good for a build up. It's also good for a transition thing. So if you're about to mix into another song, then it's good to it's not quite like a volume controller, but it brings everything down to a level where it's smooth and it's nice to the ear. It's not too heavy and crazy. Okay, everybody, I think that's all good for us. Thank you. We're really happy to be here, and yeah, we hope to see you again soon.
Remember the film Inception? How things just got deeper and deeper and deeper? That's kind of like Avery. He's been getting really deep, not just looking at games and how the graphics are and how the gameplay is, but actually speaking to the developers. Let's see how deep this rabbit hole goes in today's episode. Surprise us, my friend, in Gamer Station.
Avery Score here with another exciting episode of the Gamer Station. Today we're at the PS Vita launch, as you can see, the official launch in Malaysia of the PS Vita. I'm here with a man very well equipped to talk about the platform, Mark Rogers, who's producer on Uncharted Golden Abyss as well as Unit 13. Mark, what do you think about the Vita so far?
Oh, the Vita itself, it's an amazing, unique device. You know, kind of like, not only do we have a gorgeous, you know, kind of OLED display, but we also have 2 touch surfaces and not forgetting the analog joysticks. So the analog joysticks are really, from my standpoint, really what is shining at the moment, you know, kind of with the type of titles that I'm generating.
So certainly that's giving you a lot more granularity over control, and as you know, we reviewed Golden Abyss a couple months back on the show. Terrific review, very positive, and one of the things that really intrigued me was the use of those additional control features.
Right.
Especially this one moment where I held up the device to the light and it was a revelation. What was your thinking behind those sort of gameplay mechanics?
You know, kind of anything that really kind of engages, you know, the consumer, you know, the player within the game. So the actions that they're performing are reflected in the game. So it just gives you, you know, kind of another kind of level of involvement and immersion into the title is what we're aiming for.
So obviously the hardware has taken a huge leap forward in terms of the kind of graphics that you can offer on the platform. I felt that Nathan Drake was very much at home on the Vita.
Yes.
Do you feel you had to leave anything out from the console experience that you would have liked to put in the game?
No. And actually I think that the actual experience itself was extended. You know, on the console you have the physical controls and you can move the character around. But within, you know, on the Vita itself, you know, you have a whole other level of control as well with the touch surfaces. And this allows the game to be very accessible. And so that is also very good for a mobile platform.
So, great, Mark, tell me a little bit about Unit 13. The other host of the show, Adam, is addicted to it. I haven't touched it yet. What's it all about?
So Unit 13 is essentially it's a third-person shooter, and it's concentrating around to kind of very, very small, tight, missions. And these missions range from about 5 minutes through to 10 minutes, and they're designed for play on the go. And it really utilizes the analog joysticks that we have on the Vita, and just really gives you an immersive quality. Allows you to project yourself into the game, and that can be more difficult if you actually just have a touch service to work with.
So I feel like this has been a very strong launch in terms of the first generation of games, in part thanks to you. And how do you see this platform evolving and the roster of games evolving? It's kind of historically unusual for Sony to have such a strong launch on an emergent platform.
I think because it was, the strength of the initial launch titles is a reflection of the quality of the hardware itself. But the hardware, our ability to actually address the hardware will improve with each generation. And Sony is committed to keep on generating, kind of first-party, very high-quality first-party software for it. And of course, we have all our third-party partners as well that are going to be coming in and generating fantastic software as well. So, I am very, very confident about the future of Vita.
So, what's the future of Nathan Drake specifically? Can you reveal anything at this point on the platform?
No, I cannot.
You cannot. But I'm sure that he does have a bright future ahead on the Vita.
Nathan has a very, very bright future regardless, yeah.
So, speaking of which, another thing that interests me during my playthrough of the game was your choice to allow the user a great deal of souplesse in terms of what control scheme he uses in order to control the character. Right. Whether he's going to use the platform-specific features or stay happy with the typical kind of control scheme.
We like to just give the player the choice. We want to make the game as accessible as possible. You really want to, feel, and be engaged, with the emotion of the title itself. And so we want to remove any barriers regarding control from that experience. So, as I say, the analog joysticks allow you to project yourself into the environment so you can be Nathan as you move through. But we also make it very easy to navigate the environment just by touching the screen, where you actually have ledges that you have to grab. You can either touch individual ledges for, pinpoint control, or you can do general sweeps that allow, Nathan to go through and grab, multiple ledges as he swings his way through the environment, which is a very, very important point with Uncharted.
In terms of just as a development detail, how easy was the SDK to work with, and how much code reuse could you have from previous titles? Reusing animations, reusing work.
Uncharted and also Unit 13 were designed from the ground up for the Vita. Obviously, there are certain resources that we use that are similar, but the SDKs themselves were excellent. That allowed us to get the products out in time for launch and to actually achieve the quality that we did. So, these SDKs are just the beginning. And each day and each week I receive updates about how they've improved, and we have whole departments that basically work on the infrastructure and structure behind on the Vita, and they're working 24/7. And so what we have now is fantastic, but what's coming down the line is really, really exciting. The device itself is very, very powerful. The screen itself is gorgeous, but it's the power behind it. And this power is reflected not only in the graphics itself, but also the sound, also the speed at which the environment itself can be rendered, and the detail that you can place in it. And so, it's a very, very powerful device. And I think it's going to be great moving on.
Well, thanks to you, Mark. This has been a huge first generation of titles on the Vita. I think it's going to be a bright future ahead for the platform. And you've heard it here first. The platform is officially launched here in Malaysia. You can get a Vita now. You don't have to go to do some sneaky dealings in Chowkit in order to get one. It's officially launched in Malaysia. And Mark, I have one more request for you. If you'd be so kind, I have my copy of Uncharted right here. Would you sign it for me?
Cool.
Do we have a pen?
The pen?
Oh my God. What's luck?
Okay.
Serendipity.
There we go. Sweet. There we go.
Spring break.
There we go.
Brilliant. Thank you. And join us again next week on the Gaming Station.
Thank you.